It's been a very eventful couple of days, couple of weeks for me. But I'm really glad that this time is set aside for creating something different, for weaving new worlds and new possibilities with words. I had to be here for myself, for honoring my grandmother, and yes, she passed away um, Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, and I was really fortunate to be there with her and to hold her hand and to give her kisses immediately and help her be calmer and have more ease and have a sense of peace as she transitioned, with my mom as well. Both of us were there, and we immediately got the awareness from our bodies, like, this is the time. The people who are caring for her told her, we think that this is the last stretch, you might want to come. And so we flew, and we made it there at 1 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday, June 1st. And by 2, we made it to her. We had a family friend pick us up from the airport. Very grateful that we didn't have to drive upon landing. It was a very long flight with a layover and everything. And then after getting to her by 2, she died at 3. And what's just amazing to me is that she'd been saying for a very long time, I'm going to die at 3 o'clock in the morning, which would bring her a lot of anxiety sometimes overnight. She wouldn't sleep as well because it's almost like she was waiting for the axe to fall in the middle of the night or something, especially if she wasn't having somebody right next to her in the room or nearby. And we got to her, and we got to the point that we were even kind of teasing her a little bit, like, hey, you said you were going to die at 3. It's almost 3. How you doing? What's going on? Are you going to do what you say you're going to do? And this wasn't from a place of not caring for her, not wanting her to be on the planet anymore. I'm definitely grieving the loss of her body and being able to give her hugs and just everything that she meant to me and still means to me. The part that we were teasing her about, or we were knowing for a while that it would be a relief for her to not have the body anymore, to not have to deal with everything that she's been dealing with for the last like year or so. It's almost exactly a year. And even though we made things as comfortable as possible, even though she was mentally clear, like still a better memory than me right before she's passing than I have now. um, we knew that it was okay. And we were trying to convey that to her, that it was okay, that everyone was going to be fine and taken care of, and she didn't need to hold on to and suffer for anyone else. And my mom got to give her massages and massaged her back. And that was really lovely. That was really nice. And then I ran the living and dying body process on her, and she just relaxed and she just softened and her features softened, and she exhaled a couple more times, and then all of a sudden she wasn't breathing anymore. And my mom and I looked at each other and we were like, is this it? Did that just happen? Did she pass? And so it's it was really beautiful. I'm very glad that I got to be there. And it was really intense. And I know that if I didn't have all these beautiful people around the world that were sending me messages and flowing energy to me, if I didn't have my mom and my family, if I didn't have my body and all of these tools, these energetic tools, because I know that I was running it on myself and having more ease with her passing as I was running it on her and giving her more ease with her passing. None of us have to suffer. And it doesn't have to be this upheaval. Yes, we'll grieve. And I let myself cry when I want to cry. And there's lots of in and out. It comes and goes. And I also don't force myself to cry when I don't want to cry. And you'd be surprised how many people do that, like how many people feel like they have to cry. I mean, there's nobody's way of grieving is better than others. There isn't a formula to this. So what if you could have grieving your way? What if you could actually have it where you have a lot more peace with it, where you can still have gratitude for the person and whatever role they played in your life, and all the stuff that was complicated and not so fun and challenging about them and about your relationship with them gets just farther and farther away in the distance that you can barely see it, you can barely feel it. And what's left is these pictures of these moments that you had, where you laughed, where you shared these amazing experiences, where you got to be with each other in a way that maybe you haven't been with other people in that way, that special, unique connection that you two had. And I'm really grateful that I had that with my grandmother. I'm named after her. So her first name is Raquel and my middle name is Raquel. So I'm Siris Raquel. And every time my family calls me Raka or Raquel or Siris Raquel or all these different versions, it brings a smile to my face. One, I love my name, but two, it's the special connection that we have. And that'll be here with me, just like she's going to be here with me in all the ways. We have a deal, you see, many, many years ago, maybe 10 years ago or more. Gosh, I was in the kitchen and gosh, it might have even been, I think I was even a teenager. So decades ago, but I had the wherewithal to ask when we were all healthy and fine. I was thinking about whenever my grandmother would pass away, and I asked her and my mom to promise me that if they ever passed, that they would visit me in my dreams. And many of you have seen the Dreamland video, and that was the beginning. You know, that was before so many things happened with my body and my health. That was before I got all these different energetic tools in a conscious way in my toolbox. That was before a lot of things happened that would really need that, where I would really need to have these tools, but I already had Dreamland. And I knew of that. I knew of that because of my grandmother, because she would have these vivid, detailed dreams where if you'd had breakfast with her, she would tell you blow by blow, moment by moment, what everyone wore, what everyone said, what she said back, what their hands looked like everything. And she would just detail these beautiful stories from Dreamland. And so I asked them to make sure to visit me still in my dreams, that I could still give them hugs in my dreams, even if after they passed away. And I haven't gotten a visit in Dreamland yet, but she's definitely been around in other ways. She was definitely with me just this Friday when I was with the Expansive Energies group and now with the writing group. And so I get she's here. And what's great about those kinds of asks in those moments when you have that clarity and calm to ask for something that seems completely impossible and irrational and yet is so possible, that it opens up these doors for something else that you don't even realize. And so now, decades later, I have these amazing creations, these tools that I've gotten to use on myself, and I got to full circle contribute to her body and to her having an easier time, so that we can do what we said we were going to do for each other and with each other. So I'm really grateful for that. And what do you know about that? What do you know about the things that we could ask for in any area of our lives, that we can maybe put it to pen and paper, we can type it up, maybe we could verbally ask for it, that we can have this outcome show up and we're not even sure when exactly it can come up, but by asking for it, it makes it more likely for it to happen. By voicing it and using our powerful voices that are so meaningful for ourselves, we can actually create something amazing